Hi everybody, I'm Maxime Beugnet. I'm a developer advocate for MongoDB based in Paris. And today I want to show you how easy it is to connect MongoDB to Kafka and Kafka to MongoDB. For this, I will use, as you can see, two clusters that are deployed in MongoDB Atlas called Kafka Source and Kafka Sync. I could use just one single cluster, but just for the sake of it, why not? Those clusters, I already done some setup, so they are available on the network. So I have basically authorized any access from any IP address, just to keep it simple. And I've also created a Kafka user, which can access the database with read and write. So they can access any database, read and write. So with that in mind, so I want to create a Kafka connector that takes data from that Kafka source cluster, right? So to be able to connect to it, I will get the IP address, which is just right here. And now I will head to the Confluent Cloud cluster that is also already deployed in the Confluent Cloud. I have created already a cluster that's completely empty for now. And using the Confluent Cloud, I will create those two connectors from MongoDB, which are fully supported and integrated in the platform. And they are called MongoDB Atlas Source and MongoDB Atlas Sync, right? So for now, I will use the MongoDB Atlas Source to be able to connect to that MongoDB Atlas cluster and retrieve documents that are inserted in that cluster. So I will call it MongoDB Atlas Source. I will use the Kafka API key to connect to it. I will actually generate a new API key. I will save that for later on the side, so I can reuse it for the sync connection as well. So let's just click the node, right? Now I need the host that I just copy pasted. Oops. Let's get that actually again in here. Right, I can just copy paste that, close. So I need the connection host that I get from MongoDB Atlas. I need the user that I called Kafka. I need to type the password. And now I could also listen to any database and any connection in the MongoDB Atlas cluster. Just to keep it simple, I will just listen to one single collection called test movies. And that's basically all I need. I could in here set up the value to make sure it's a BSON document that we get. And just to show you the difference, I won't use that value here for now, publish full document only. So we'll get the full document that MongoDB generates, right? So you can see the difference. We'll just set up one task and I'm going to click next. And now I'm going to click launch. And it's going to take like about a minute to create that, source connection. So with the magic of video editing, it's going to be ready in just a minute. All right, and our MongoDB Atlas source is now up and running. And so we can start by configuring our MongoDB Atlas Sync now. So let's click on that. And we can create a topic, which is going to be called test movies. I'm going to say create. I'm going to use that topic. So for the sync, again, I need to give it a name. I need to say that it's BSON again, because BSON in input is going to be BSON in output. Here I'm going to use the same API key that we generated earlier. So I'm just copy pasting from my other screen. The connection host, again, so I'm going to this time take the one from the Kafka Sync. Take it from here, and I just copy paste. The user is still my Kafka user with my small password. And this time I'm going to write to a different database. So let's say this time it's other movies. So, we are very sure that it's a different collection in a different cluster. And that's it. I don't have anything else to set up. I can just leave everything by default. But I have plenty of options, if I want to do something a bit different. And that's it. Just going to click next and launch. And again, I have to wait about 1 minute to be up and running. So I see you in 1 second. So now that everything is up and running, we can go back to MongoDB Atlas, and we can write one document in the source cluster, and hopefully it should be also written now to the Kafka sink through Kafka, right? Because Kafka basically takes the documents from the source and we are trying to write them into the sink. And because we haven't selected the option I mentioned, it's going to be the full change streams document rather than just the document I inserted. So let's see that live, right? So I'm going to create my own data. I'm going to create that test movies collection. And in this collection, I'm going to insert a document with a title, let's say Titanic, for example, right? I'm going to insert that document. I'm going to go back in here, and now I'm going to visit the data in that Kafka sink cluster. If I browse collection, as you can see, now a new collection has been created, and it contains that object, right? With my object in it, which is the Titanic title, right? As you can see, it's embedded in that full document object, which is part of the document that we get from the MongoDB change streams, right? Which is a technology used in the background to basically listen to the MongoDB collection and to listen to the right events that happen in that collection. So insert, deletes, and update operations, for example, right? So if we don't want that behavior and we want only actually the copy of the document itself, not the full change event, we have to modify the source, and we have to say that we want only the full document, right? That's embedded inside that document. So I set that to true, which is false by default. I'm going to click on next here at the bottom right corner behind me. And I'm going to click on launch as well, same place. Okay, now my source has been updated. So I can just delete that document to make sure it's not in the way. And in here, in the source, I will do exactly the same thing. We'll delete the Titanic document. And I'm going to create a new document. So with the title, let's say Deadpool this time. Insert. Cool, it's here. Now we can head back to the sink cluster in here. And of course, we have now our document, which just contains the same data that we generated in the other cluster, right? So that's it. That's the end of my demonstration. Thank you very much. As you can see, there is zero code. It's super easy, just a few clicks, to set up. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy.